Thank you very much, Zimbabwe. Revolutionary salutations to the people of Zimbabwe. Revolutionary salutations to the Investor of Zimbabwe Students Union. Revolutionary salutations to #generational consensus. Revolutionary salutations to the youth of this country. My name is Comrade Ngobizita Mlambo. Today I made the Investor of Zimbabwe once again. Greeting you, Zimbabwe. And I'm joined by Comrade Treasure Pasopo. He's the Students Commissar at the Investor of Zimbabwe. He's the one who led and executed the 15,000 plus student demonstration that sounded the final death knell to Robert Mugabe's 37-year-old dictatorship. Today, comrades, were here to discuss a plethora of issues that concern our country. We have witnessed strikes by medical doctors. We have witnessed political rallies by the Movement for Democratic Change, presidential candidate, President Nelson Wamba Chamisa. So Comrade Treasure Pasopo and I are going to cross-pollinate ideas and obviously give our perspective as a revolutionary young intellectual. So Comrade Treasure Pasopo, you can as well greet the people of Zimbabwe and share our ideas.
Thank you very much, Comrade Brother Mlambo, for giving me this chance, this opportunity. It's actually a sui generis opportunity, a unique opportunity to meet the people of Zimbabwe in the world at large. And the revolutionary greetings to Zimbabwe, commissioners, commanders, brigadiers, generals, and everyone else who is concerned. Today, the People's Republic of the Investor of Zimbabwe, of course, we are trying to talk about different issues which are affecting and bedeviling the people, be they the youth, be they the elderly, be they the disabled, the blind. Every person is concerned. And in relation to combat, I think one of the critical issues which are bedeviling our country momentarily is the undoubted and unbridled strike, industrial action which is being undertaken by medical doctors, which to me is a clear abrogation of Section 76 of Zimbabwean Constitution that our people voted for on the 16th and 17th of March 2013. The people have the right to health, and that is being compromised by a continuous lack of providing necessary services to the people of Zimbabwe. Some people are coming to the hospitals, they're being turned away, and that is causing serious problems, serious health hazard to the people of Zimbabwe. So, Brother Mlambo, what do you think in relation to the issue of doctors? What's really
I think, Comrade Pasopo, you have said it all, but just in addition, I think that President Mnangagwa is on record saying that Zimbabwe is open for business.
Yes.
But the current strike by medical doctors actually abrogates and totally shreds apart, tears apart that whole agenda or that whole mantra of Zimbabwe is open for business.
Yes.
Simply because you can't be open for business when your own people are not fit, when your own people are not well.
Yes.
In essence, when you are talking about our understanding as intellectuals, yes, is that when you say we are open for business, in other words, you are saying you are trying to attract foreign direct investment, and foreign direct investment comes in the form of companies, the multilateral companies, transnational companies, that global companies, the Goldman Sachs, etc. of this world, the McDonald's of this world, that want to try and invest in our country. So they can't come and invest in a country that is failing to take care of its own people, because the business and the labor work in tandem. Business and labor, they are transactional. So we can't be open for business before we address the critical issue of healthcare and a sound health delivery system. So what the government is supposed to do right now is to provide the necessary resources by its means, or partner with the development partners like the United Nations and its organs, to make sure that medical doctors, medical practitioners, even nurses and other medical practitioners in this country are paid well, to ensure that our labor force, in preparation for the transnational cooperation, the multilateral cooperations, and the big businesses and the companies that will come and invest as we open our country for business, we have a labor force that is fully fit and taken quite care of. It's said that in this country, most people are on funeral policy plans, other than they are on medical scheme plans. That alone explains that 65% of Zimbabweans are on medical or are on funeral policy, nyaradzo, doves, etc. They are not on CIMAS, they are not on PASMAS, they are not on First Mutual Health Insurance. That explains a serious crisis. Yes. The crisis is now beyond the health sector. The crisis now is actually political and economic. So at the end of the day, what we should address is the political question to solve the economic question. So in other words, what we are trying to say is economic thinking should follow, political thinking should follow economic thinking. Let us first of all organize our economy well. Let us first of all take care of the medical sector. Let us first of all fully fund our clinics and medical hospitals. We are troubled by the infant mortality rates in our country. We are troubled by the maternal mortality rates in our country. We need to reduce the infant mortality rates. We need to reduce the maternal mortality rates, so that at the end of the day, we have got a healthy and sound society ready to build a prosperous. So that's my comment. President Mnangagwa, Your Excellency, say, please address the concerns of the doctors. If they say they want $10 an hour, I think it's noble that doctors in this country should be the most paid people in our country.
Without a doubt.
They are the most critical people in our country. The moment we do not take care of our doctors, we are doomed as a people. So I think, in my opinion, I think doctors should be paid $20 an hour. $20 an hour per call, not $10. Too small. Because the fact in Canada, doctors were demonstrating that they are being, the government wanted to increase their salary. Why? Because they are fully paid. They now enjoy the benefits of being medical practitioners. A profession that takes 5 to 7 years to be trained. Yet the University of Zimbabwe, you pay around $1,400 a semester only to graduate as a junior doctor and be paid $329. That is not consistent with the profession. That is not decent. And when we talk about the International Labour Organization now, Brother Basok, the decent work agenda, this is where it comes into focus. Decent work, it entails, number one, proper working conditions. Number two, wages that are far above the poverty datum line. And I think the poverty datum line is $575. Recent statistics from the Consumer Council of Zimbabwe, if I'm not mistaken.
You know, Brother Mlambo, as I have been going and perusing, of course, within the diction of
yes,
in the library.
Yes,
I came up to a point of realizing that, you know, world standards, world standards,
yes,
by their average, we expect 100,000 people to be served by 320 doctors.
Yes, that's the ratio.
That's the ratio. In Africa, it's very much pathetic. We have 12 doctors serving a population of 100,000. But to come back to Zimbabwe, it's even more pathetic. We have 6 doctors serving a population of 100,000 people.
So so in short, you are saying we are not investing more in our healthcare system. That's why the life expectancy is around 32 years or 35 years.
We are even outsmarted by countries like Afghanistan, countries
war-torn countries, countries with bombs and the Taliban, ISIS. Yes. But we are a peaceful country, thank God.
Attrition.
Yes.
You know, Zimbabwe trains in Africa. It costs $60,000 US to train on average a doctor, and $12,000 US to train an average nurse. But of the 1,200 doctors that are trained here in Zimbabwe in the 1990s, 840 of them, they left the country by the end of the decade. Africa loses an average of 500 million per year due to this outflow of doctors, this massive exodus of people getting out of Africa.
Why? Because the working conditions are not proper.
Why should they stay?
Why? Because you are not paid that which is consistent with your profession. We can't have a country where politicians have got a mega. You see, our ministers drive Hollywood cars. They look like Hollywood stars, as Dr. Kanyeze would put it in one of his books, that our ministers look like Hollywood stars. They drive Lamborghinis, they drive Maseratis, and a medical doctor on average driving a Mazda 323.
And he's paid $75
an hour. So that's an abrogation of the medical field. That's an abrogation of being educated.
You know, when I heard that, in the words of Peter Pan,
yes,
I was overwhelmed and flabbergasted by such a conduct of a government which consists of people whom we think they are leaders, giving such a paltry amount to people who are educated.
They are misleaders. If our governors, if our government owns more property and more wealth than an average doctor, then those are not governors, those are not leaders, they are misleaders. Because the dictionary, literal dictionary meaning of a minister, to minister is to save. So in essence, our government culture, as President Chamisa is saying in his rallies, our government culture should change. The culture to save is and sacrifice. That is what we now to begin to. So we hope that if President Mnangagwa's Excellency say, if you come across this cross-pollination of ideas, you take into account what the young people of this country are saying, because we represent the majority of the views of our people. It's only that we are expressing ourselves. Others choose to express themselves differently.
You know,
so that's the case.
It doesn't need to be this country which is a bakery of ideas. It doesn't need to be this country which is a factory of ideas. We equally need to just import ideas from other countries.
Yes.
You know, Brother Mulambo, one thing that I realized that ideas by their very nature, they are a public good, which is characterized by non-rival in consumption. One can make use of them, and that is stop another person from making use of them equally. Countries like Hong Kong, brother, go to South Korea and go to Hong Kong.
Asian tigers.
The East Asian tigers, they have made it better through borrowing from other countries. You know, in 1950, 1960, roughly there, Zimbabwe was at par in terms of their GDP per capita of these countries. But as we speak, by 2003,
the GDP per capita of South Korea was 15 times.
Far much.
That was so. It took the South Koreans a conscious decision to have a shared national vision. What has been lacking in our country has been an identified and shared, a collectively shared national vision. We need to sit down as a people Everyone, churches, peasants, vendors, students, politicians, leaders and captains of industry, business people, entrepreneurs, young people, and sit down at multi-stakeholder meetings and begin to say, and stockholder, as Professor Jonathan would say, and stockholder meetings, and begin to say, what is the Zimbabwe we want? Irregardless of the fact that you are MDC, you are ZANU Ndonga, ZANU Wapusa, G40, Lacoste, whatever you call yourself, what is the Zimbabwe we want? Because we can go for elections for the next 50 years, Brother Basop. Yes. But so long as we don't have a shared national vision, yes, we will continue to be captured in these vicious circles of electioneering. That's why you see, even after the 2018 election, people will remain in an electioneering mood. Why? Because even if anyone wins, without a shared national vision that we can collectively execute, as Thomas Sankara did between 1983 and 1987 in Burkina Faso, he had to mobilize his people and say, what is the type of Burkina Faso, the land of the upright people that we want? Zimbabwe has never done so. From 1980 to present, it has been a country riddled in crisis. It has been a country riddled by tribalist divisions.
Why is it so? You know, the fundamental
because we don't have a shared national vision.
The greatest predicament which bedevils our nation up to now, Brother Mulambo, is this palpable absence of a matrix of leadership in
yes, yes.
Zimbabwe is a young country with
yes,
people, young people. We need to speak justice and to have bodies that vigorously stride and strive for revolutionary action. Of the 30,061,239 citizens were counted, comrade, on the 24th of August 2013, 2012, in a national census. 67% of them, they're young people.
Yes, aged between 15 and 40.
You understand? Yes. But now, what is their contribution?
But if you look at the composition of our current governmental system, the 4% who are the minority in terms of the demographic composition of our country, they are the ones who are leading. So it's an irony, it's a contradiction. It's a demographic contradiction, it's a sociological contradiction, a technological contradiction, and a political contradiction, that those who are old govern the majority of those who are young. But I'm very glad. I'm very glad for hashtag generational consensus. I'm very glad for the Nigerian movement that is called hashtag not too young to run. African youth are now beginning to take a conscious decision to be involved directly and confront the beast of gerontocracy, and confront the beast of corruption, and confront the beast of all the people who do not understand the language of retiring. So you will now see generational consensus beginning to talk about, let's now have a young person being president. Let's now have young people be in business. Let's now have young people in academia. Let's now have young people, we have them in churches. We want also to see them in entrepreneurship.
My proposal, brother, is that even in parties like ZANU-PF itself,
it should renew. ZANU should allow young people to lead.
ZANU Ndonga.
Yes. G40, Lacoste, they must run. Young people, because by their very nature, young people are energetic. Yes. By their very nature, because of the consequence of the technological era that they are in, young people are techno-savvy. And they understand the contemporary challenges and how to solve the challenges, because we have lived experiences of being unemployed. We have lived experiences of living in a technological era. And right now I can communicate to a brother in South Sudan. I can communicate to a brother in Cambodia because of the technology. But my honorable minister of youth in this country does not have a laptop, cannot operate the internet, is not on Twitter, is not on Facebook. So which youth is he talking to? Which youth is he in constant communication with?
Zimbabwe, for giving us this chance, this sui generis opportunities I have said before, for us to be able to speak and articulate ideas from a perspective of how we see things. But of course, no one is a monopoly of ideas.
Yes.
Anyway, Zimbabwe is our country. Aluta contra ignorancia. Like what Comrade Machel in Mozambique would say, that this struggle in Zimbabwe is our struggle. Aluta continua.
Thank you very much, Zimbabwe. Thank you for the overwhelming response to our videos that we post on the corridors of YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. Your response has been overwhelming. I say let's continue to organize and stop agonizing. I say let's continue to publish so that we won't perish. I say the young people of Zimbabwe, this is our time. This election is going to be the mother of all elections. This election is going to be decided by young people. He said that we shape up as young people or we ship out. I decided with my brother Comrade Basopo to shape up. Thank you very much. I remain Comrade Ngobizita Mlambo, a revolutionary intellectual. God bless Africa. God bless Zimbabwe. God bless the future of this country. I thank you.
Asante
sana.
Moi, comrades, moi.
Thank you.